Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show, and we are on our special Friday Trade with TradeVSA. I think the festive season is almost here already, as we are on just a couple to 2 more weeks to the Christmas season. So I hope that I'll have a chance here to wish you all a happy holiday and festive season, and do drive carefully if you're going back to outstation, and a little bit more on what we have for you in store for our this week episode 4 of our Trade with TradeVSA. Now let's get on to our usual in here. You could see the even slides that we have is already showing a lot of festive season, and we want to get into that kind of mood. But that doesn't mean the KLCI or the stock market is going to get a bit more less busy. But usually, if you know, been following our program, we know that we might get a Christmas rally this coming week, as the market is sort of, people are leaving now, and that's where smart money or institutional has less effort to push up the market. Of course, for those of you who continue to follow the market, who traded during this time, I think you will definitely benefit, because most people, by the time they come back next week, in the first week of 2022, they'll realize the market has gone up a fair bit. That's always been this kind of trend. So thank you for coming, for those of you who are with me this morning in here. So let's take a look at what we have for you. And this is our disclaimer for this morning in here. And we are at the episode 4, right? VSA Turtle Trading, completing the journey. And this session, this live FB, we'll be talking about the trading tools that many of our VSA Turtle trader will be using it. Now remember, in our last episode, in third episode, we were talking about the candidates and the candidates who are being interviewed for the session following where we left off, also going back to the original Turtle Trader back in the 80s, and also another group which is the BBC Millionaire Trading in the year 2000 in here. So last week we interviewed almost 15 plus of our candidates from our masterclass, and no doubt these people has gone through some basic and also training that we have done using the volume spread analysis and knowing what to do. So what's really going on with these candidates? And of course, the VSA Turtle Trader are, most of them, I would say about 80% of them are in their peak health. As you can see, many of them are between 46 to 55. 40% of them are 46 to 55 years old. And 40% of them are from 36 to 45 years old, and only a small fraction of them are actually above the 55 years old. So this is really a good time for them to really learn about the market in here. And I do hope that those of you who are watching with us today are within this capacity of even try to recommend to your peers or to your siblings or to your children or to your friends, anyone in the younger generation, to really learn about trading and investing. And it is one of the most important skill to know. But unfortunately, most people, by the time they come and learn it, it's already too late, where their peak performance or earning capacity has diminishes. And I got into the stock market actually in the mid-30s, which is around the rate group, which is only 7.1%. So you can see right now that statistic still valid even I go back to 20 years ago. And so much so that our so-called adult education, I call this as adult education, to learn to earn, all right, hasn't changed that much, right? So this problem will continue in the coming days. So something that we should take note of too. And also looking at the profession of the turtle trader that gone through our interview, you can see we have medicals, we have management, we have business owner, we have trader, a small percentage of them trader as a second income. And we always say that, you know, trading for using the VSA system in here, you don't need to be a full-time trader at all. You can be doing a property agent, you could be a consultant in here, you could semi-retire and yet run perhaps a restaurant business, you can be in the sales, you can be the banker. Any of those is possible, right, with the system that we devised for our Turtle Trader. Now remember, in the first version of the turtle trader. Many of them actually left their job and became full-time working for Richard Dennis, and then we saw it in BBC. They were in the same building working with Anton Krill and also Lex Van Dam for almost 3 months or so. But in our turtle trading completing the journey experiment, they will be working with their existing job and yet able to trade, and that's why we say that this is a significant lifestyle change in terms of the turtle trader. How has your education started as a trader investor, and were 2022 a good year for you? Right? Definitely, if you've been following us, you could see the result that we have. It's not great. We are still about 6% for the year up to December. Compared to KLCI at -7 or -8% in here. We are still positive, not losing money in here. And if 2022 for the KLCI will be a good year, then we will do much better. So it's very important that your performance as a trader, as an investor, are in par with the market. If such what I've said is true, then definitely US market would have done so well. And for those of you who have joined us previously in our masterclass would have known what I talk about the US market and also diversifying out to the cryptocurrency. There's always been our goal to really educate the public in here how to diversify out. So if you have benefited from some of the educational tips and educational notes that we talk about, you would have known what we say are really, really true. The question is that did you follow to a T or mostly just go in and come out, right? So that's what we really want to do, is really take you to the next level, and that's why we have completing the journey as a turtle trader. Now let's take a look at what we have, the tools, the trading tool, which is the 360 TradeVSA. We wouldn't be possible for our turtle trading program without our trading tool, because many people will probably have to end up finding a methodology to trade in the market. We already have a methodology, and we are quite proud. As I said before, this year, for the whole year, we've been making money, whether in the US market, in the Malaysia market, and even in our intraday trade. We are doing well, but we couldn't say that it's going to make you a millionaire overnight. We never make this kind of claim. And very similar, we want to see the same thing going on. If you have picked up some of the skills in here, you would have realized some of the things that we talk about in here would put you in the right position. So let's take a look at the TradeVSA trading tools. It's equipped with the 360. Now, if you have not tried our 360, you should give it a chance to try it. We do have installment payment for this one here. We have our stock screener. We have our VSA indicator, which is the plugin that you see in TradingView. We have stock comparison from a fundamental standpoint for those who are investing for longer term. So stay right to the end here, because I'm going to give you a TradeVSA investment trading approach too. And we also have the FA, which is the fundamental analysis, stock analysis. We have the stock rating, which is a SMARTRobie rating. We have the sector screener, and we also have our regular member training. Now, the stock rating is important for those of you who are looking to buy some sort of fundamental undervalued share. So the higher the rating would be much, much better compared to those who are rated lower, because purely they are in the growth sector in here. All right. And no doubt, we also have our intraday alert. Now, of course, let's take a look at what we have. Usually the 4 top questions that we have from the public, right? And we always get this as we've been doing many of the survey, and many of the audience who've been listening to us will come and join us in our Zoom session in here. And we have this 4 top questions: what to buy, when to sell, what is the stock like in terms of FA, and have you back tested it? What is the success rate? I think those are the 4 questions we attempt to answer. And as such, we have this methodology, the VSA 360, are able to satisfy some of the top 4 questions that you have. Now, let's take a look at the types of trader that usually use the VSA 360. And many of you may fall into this category, whether you're a short-term trader, right, or your fundamental analysis, the type of trading, right, which means you do not want to buy penny shares. You want to buy some stock that has some sort of a fundamental, or even if you are a medium long-term investor, or maybe just a combination of that, or purely you are just a newbie and wanted to see what are my options. You know, I could be a trader today, I could be a medium term, and think of it, it's just like pretty much of you going into a buffet dinner. right? We all know the choices that we have to make. We will try a bit of Japanese food. We will try a bit of Italian food. We will try a bit of Indian food. Can you remember the last time you have gone to a buffet dinner? So if you are not an experienced buffet dinner goer like me, right, you will probably test out everything. But before you even get to the main meal, you'll be already full. And pretty much in the same way too, we felt that it's important you're going to be a designated cuisine expert, right? You will only try those that will really suit you well and suits your appetite. So in here, whether you are a short-term trader, a FA trader, or medium long-term, we have just something for you. Of course, for our members, they would already check it out. And for those you have known, probably this would help you. Now, of course, we do done a lot of the backtesting that I shared you before, our Pentagon Guider that we've been doing for the whole last year, January right to December. We made about the 6%. And of course, we do not boast it. And so you can continue to follow our investing, which I will talk about it, also published on the investing note scoreboard. So you can see our scoreboard. So with that, we hope that our VSA Turtle Trader, as well some of you who are using it, can boost your trading and investing to the next level, which also include the US market. We all know how well US market has done, right? And of course, with the 360 stock viewpoint, you have better insights, and that should lead to better performances and also more responsive, because the apps allows you to take it anywhere with you, 360, 24/7. Now let's take a look at a trader type. Maybe you can identify yourself with Mr. Cairo. He's always very busy every day, but he loves the stock market. He likes the stock market in here ever since he got unhand when he was a young boy in here. But he wants to do a lot of fast in and fast out kind of trade. He's a very short-term trader in here, right? So what we have a solution for him is we recommend the premium menu. Okay, in the premium menu, we have the intraday alert. Okay, so the intraday alert is something that you look for, and we're going to be looking at this. So the intraday alert is something that you look for. So you will click on intraday alert, and the intraday alert normally display some of the live alert that's sent to him. Now it's 15-minute delay in here. Take note of it. So there are a timestamp on the left-hand side, on the middle of the side, so they can actually check it in here. So the VSA 360 systems scan the Bursa intraday and look for the low risk and the high reward trade during the 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. time. So that way he can plan an exit and entry during the day. So in this case, you're looking for Emulus, right? You can see that. Now let's take a look at what we have for you today on the intraday. So let me just bring it up to you. And this is the 360 here. And we go on to the premium alert. And we go on to intraday alert, and you could see Evergreen. Okay, Evergreen came out at 4.8%, and it has good volume too. Look at that, 976, 2.3 million, 3.7, 3.84 million, and it's up to 10 o'clock. Let's take a look at Evergreen. You can see this Evergreen already broke out very nicely, right? And you can identify this as being one of the trades that's going to jalan. And remember, you got NS here too, so it's a confirmed NS. You could see here the KLCI is also seems to be turning very positive, and we just can't wait to get that green pentagon, right? So this is something that you can log on to VSA 360 and check it out every morning in here. So that's on the Evergreen fiber board. So that's how you want to check out every morning to see whether intraday alert during the 9 to 5 a.m. here. Okay, so that we done that one. So that's the intraday alert. Now let's look at a second profile which may also fit you, is Miss Sulin. Now Miss Sulin is a more conservative, more conscious, but he likes to trade too. And because he is a bit more conscious, he a bit more careful, and he just don't buy any stocks that any Sifu or anyone talks about it. He want to look at the FA2, which is the fundamental analysis. Okay, so this fundamental analysis can be checked on by Sulin here. All right, so what the Sulin does is that he will go on to the screener, okay, and he will look for the Pentagon Guider. The Pentagon Guider are some of the what we call a stage 1 share, very suitable for beginners, very suitable for the more conservative kind of trader, and she would check on the FA2. So in this case, you can see there are sign of strength, Pentagon Guider, which is the 18-day line change, the no supply, the spring, and the Pentagon Guider. And for those of you, these are the VSA stock screener in here. All right. And then when he goes in, looking at the list in here, he found Atrium. And what he want to do is just typically look at it from a 360 viewpoint for the Pentagon Guider, and each of these stocks are actually hot link, right? And then he plans an entry and exit. Okay, he plans an entry and exit. In this case, Atrium, he want to know more about Atrium, so he goes over to the 360 in here. You can see it on the screen out here, and it displays a lot of the easy to read about Atrium real estates, right? It's a profitable business, it's a high dividend yield, it's a high trading liquidity. The disadvantage, it's a low price to tangible ratio, company is in debt, and it has a lot of high gearing ratio. With that, for someone who have fundamental would probably understand what he's buying. And also you could see from the SMARTRobie rating is rated out 2 out of 8. Okay, it is a FA Dido stock, it is a growth stock here, it's a small cap real estate investment trust, and it is listed in the main board, right? So this is how she can quickly analyze it, right? What kind of stock would she be buying? And it would definitely eliminate some of those penny stocks that never done pretty well. All right, so immediately he can also analyze Inari in here. Now I would like to bring your attention in here. Inari, also one of the technology stocks I think many of you would have known, has been given an entry into the Bursa. So in here you can see small dividend payout, positive cash flow, low gearing, high trading value, poor income near future, very low price to tangible in here. But one of the things that you might want to look at is also the safety buffer margin of safety, because this is a growth stock. It's considered, you can see here, the PE is about 40 times, right, compared to the return on equity. So as such, the Robie regard this as very little safety of margin, right? But our local analyst here is giving it a 33% upside, a target price of 530, whether you believe it or not, but it's interesting. Right now you could see here the current price of Inari is just short of $4 in here, short of $4. You can check out Inari. So this is one way to know, what kind of stocks that you're going in. And because, like it or not, this is your likelihood of opinion that you form before you buy Inari. And if you're going to be holding Inari, this is going to be one of the reasons why you buy it, is because it's very positive cash flow, low gearing, it's a growth stocks. Analyst is giving it a 5 ringgit 31 cent for Inari. So you can check it out on the 360 in here. All right. So in addition, Sulin can also compare another stocks within the same sector. In this example in here, she's comparing a VS. Okay, VS industry with other industrial products. You can see VS, right, in its sense, in terms of its fundamental, right, compared to the industrial product. Industrial product are actually average is better. So you can see VS, it's not really strong compared to the average. This is like, when you go into a classroom, okay, a classroom, you got the average height of the person, and right now we can see VS, it's his strength are not as strong compared to the average one. So if you want to buy something for a longer term, you want to look for a higher average comparison. Okay, so that will put you in a good position for a lot of the FA in here. Check it out, it's in 360 in here. Every fundamental stocks would have a stock comparison in here. Now let's take a look at the third investor profile, Mr. Jagan. Now he's a medium long term, and usually he's go outstation working, so he don't have a lot of time to monitor, and so am I, and so you are too, right? I'm sure that many of you who are busy wanted to have a position in the stock market but don't have a time, but want the stock to appreciate in prices. So this is where he can use the FA, stand for fundamental growth screener, that we have in here. So you can look at the FA growth screener and click on that one, and that will give them a list of the growth screener stock. And of course he can also use the color coordinated cell that you see here, the purple and the green, to do his timing of the stocks. He can do the timing of the stock. But if you just want to use it for viewing, he can click on the 360 URL link here. In this case, RCE cap. And then RCE cap will pops up, and you can see in here the 360 will display all the necessary details that you like. In this case, RCE cap has an extraordinary profit, high dividend yield, very high trading value. It's a high debt because being a finance company in here, and it's rated 7 out of 8, right? 7 out of 8, and giving it a safety, a margin safety of 51%, a safety margin of 51%. So this will definitely tell you this RCE Capital will definitely be a very, very good contender. And let's take a look at RCE Capital. Oh, you can see even right now, you can see Evergreen Fiber is moving up to 49 cents. So this is a nice one. It's going to be testing 50 cents. So we found it through the intraday alert, just having it right. And you notice just now in our intraday alert, there's only one, because SMARTRobie and VSA 360 both are very intelligent and looking for the best trade to really fit you there. All right. So we were talking about RCE Capital. Let's take a look at RCE Capital. So RCE Capital has fallen since then around this price where there was a red pentagon in here. It's still staying above the ATR stop loss, so it's still okay in here. The trends are still up, as I said before in here. No doubt if you have gone in somewhere below here, right at the bottom, you would have taken some profit first. All right, this is a nice move from $2.70 to about $3.70. So that's really a nice move if you have followed a green pentagon in here. So right now it's good to do another thinking to go in, which I'll share with you one of the principle in here. All right, so that's a good one. So RCE Capital, and how do you discover it? Just by using FA growth. Just think of the amount of possible opportunity then. Yeah. So we in TradeVSA continue to develop the new releases right now. So for our December 2021, we have the Alert Center, we have the VCP, we're holding it back, so we're going to release it next year. Then we have the Real Money, Real Account, that's for our masterclass portfolio, so they can follow and invest together with the US market, Singapore, and also Malaysian market. Then we have the monthly seasonal return per year basis, and what would you expect to be fully invested, $10,000 in the stocks itself, right? And all screener will have positive and also losses. So if you look at from a 360 standpoint, we have many features in here, and it's really a self-discovery like a mini Bloomberg, right? So we have the dashboard. We're really following the rules when you want to be in and when you want to be out. Then we also have the sector analysis, how you should allocate your trading according to the sector. Again, we have this many in our tutorials. By just following the rules, you are able to do. And of course, something they're very proud of is our FA analysis, right? We have our FA analysis, we have the pro and cons. We also have our premium alert, which also talk about the intraday alert, which I'll show you the portfolio of a masterclass. This is something that we teach in our masterclass, that they're able to diversify out, having both a long-term portfolio and a short-term portfolio. We also have the advanced screener in here, and then the alert center, which alerts you on the US market and KLSE sector in here. So a lot of feature would definitely give you time to alert, okay, what's happening to the market in here. And for specialized training and advanced training, that usually comes with our okay. Now the alert center was released on the December 3rd, right? So it will notify you of the daily potential high liquid shares, right? Like the COI portfolio, which is a value fundamental investor. Then the UMNO watch list. We also have the RHB Jewel watch list for 2020. So we update this, and you could see on the top right hand side here, that's where you see a list of stocks. We will take a look at what's it today here. So you can see this is the for today. This was on the 1st of December. You can see we have real estate, we have Axis, okay. Then we have Maxis, we have PCAM, we have so we also have some today. Now the alert center, once you go in to the alert center, you're able to see some of these stocks, which sector they are going, when did the first turn red pentagon, when did the first turn green pentagon in here. And let's take a look at what we have for the alert center today. So what we do, we just bring it up here, And once you log in, you can see on the top side here, we can see the bell here. Click on that one and you can see, oh, we got a lot of green pentagon. So this is a good sign. As I said before, the December rally, and I think we all know the window dressing opportunity is here already. So click on that one. And you can see some of these stocks, some Derby, Vitrox, already turned red pentagon, IBM, okay, has turned, Press Metal has turned green pentagon. That's on 8th of December, which is, yeah, I think just turn it. Press Metal, you can see Press Metal, yep, it's going up in here, minus 0.7. You can see green pentagon, nicely done here. And it does seems that this may be giving you a pre-early warning, the recovery that we're seeing so far right now in here. Okay, and also you can see here a growth stocks, a Sharia, a main board, industrial, large cap. So all this is on the alert, so you can always look for those shares that you like. I think it's also important. Many of our traders not only teaching you to do the intraday trading, but we're also taking a look at the longer term perspective by looking at each individual stocks. Okay. So that is just one example from our alert in here. And also for our December 2021, we have the VSA 360 feature, which actually look into if you have invested a longer term, in this case for 6 years, using this example for Inari, what would you fully expected if you invested 10,000 ringgit in this stock? You would have been around the 32,000 mark here. You can see 32,000 mark here, and you can see from 10,000 it goes up, come back down, pull back in 2008, but the pickup was during the COVID, where you can see right from this onwards straight up to 32,000 in here. And remember, the analyst did talk about $5, right? So so that way, when you buy any stocks, if it's a longer term, you could see the real trend of the stock, whether it has performed compared to something that you have thought about in here. You may not know this, but you have said, if I invested and put in for a full 6 years, I could have achieve a $32,000 unrealized profit on my thing here. And that is, to me, a fully informed decision on your own, not relying on anybody else. So you know about what you are buying too. And the same applies to it. And of course, for our VSA Turtle trading system, we continue to have the updates that we have. So we use the VSA 360. This is another example that we done a trade on HHJCI. Just like today, we just saw what was the stock? Evergreen, right? So Evergreen comes out at 10:15 here. You could do the trade at 9:30, 9:45 in here. Put on the trade, right? And you can see your trade done on live on your account. You need a real life trading account, or you can trade it on the paper account in here. Exit by the end of the day, and then close the position so far that we had. So far we have Kaylee, we have HH Group, so we do have profit. The losses are very, very small. Why? Because of the trade setup. As I said before, we've done all the back testing, we've done all the hard work for you. All you got to do is run the system. That's all you got to do is run the system in here. Small profit, but it's profit every day. Right, it's profit every day, and we try to avoid some of the major losses. It's possible. That's why we don't carry the position overnight. We will close all position by 4:45, 4:30 already. That's one way to do that. Now, because we felt that this will be some of the critical success factor going forward for the turtle trader. Being very disciplined, right? Whether you have the right type of education, it doesn't really matter. The whole point is, do they have the tenacity and the capacity to do what they've been trained to do so, all right? This is what always we wanted to do with them. So they will trade a small size real account in here. Prerequisite is to complete the training in our masterclass and orientation in using the 360. So we felt that this episode 3, the trading tool, will be a good orientation for them. Then they will just go on back testing for a week. Okay, so let's take a look at the section that we talk about here, and to show you the trades that we have done. All right, and let's go on to investing. Note. Okay, and switching to the portfolio here. So you can see this is the Pentagon. Switch back to the VSA Turtle Trader in here. You could see right now we are still outperforming, and we've done a few more trades. Not only that, okay, let's take a look at the close position early on. We have SMI, no loss, no loss, no loss. there's 89 ringgit and 363. There will be some commission included in there too. All right, so you can see right now, that's why we are saying, and this is sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit. Because why? The market is not fully bullish. We know that, right? We have to wait for the green pentagon to come out first on our pentagon guider. So if not, we'll just do the intraday while try to make a few more. And the whole point is try to make a few thousand a month if possible, with just 20,000 ringgit. If you can do bigger, that will be great, but always try to do it on a paper trading account. Start small first, follow some sort of a training in here, and just don't go and do buta. Okay, that's always been what we want to say here. Of course, when we talk about this festive season, many of you will be going on holiday, will be bringing out friends and family, especially our Christian friends. We wish you a Merry Christmas in the coming days in here. And a lot of the time when we get together, we like to eat, right? Isn't it? I also like to eat, so we will always be cooking. But some of you may already be buying takeaway, but majority of you have time. You may go to the pasar or to the supermarket to shop, and you'll be using a lot of the cooking utensils. Now, when you are cooking a meal, I think one of the best function is a multi-function cooker. I used to go up to Harvey Norman's, and I've seen many of them on discount, or even you can buy online from Shopee or Lazada for very reasonable price. And some of these multifunctional cooker really works wonder. It can cook a lot of things in a very short time. You clean it and again. So in many ways, we feel that VSA 360 is like the multi-function cooker. You can find a lot of things to do with it. You just need to try it out in here. So when you cook a meal this Christmas using a multi-function cooker, think of VSA 360. That's my parting thought for today. All right. So of course, this is more of the VSA approach, what we talk about in here, how to combine it all. And for our turtle trader candidates who is listening, I think it's very important. You start out with 4 function. Okay, 4 function in your overall perspective of your trading in here. Now, going forward 2020, we hope you can adopt our TradeVSA approach to the investing can be summarized in here. Now, of course, first of all, is your investment objective for 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. I know a lot of people come to me say, I want to make as much money as possible, right? That's not a trading goal. It's just like I want to be a CEO of a company. Can you list out the details? All right, that's a wish list. And so in here, I'm not going to go down to the detail. You can capture this one, but I'll definitely talk more on our member session tomorrow at 10 a.m. in here, right? So for those of you who are watching from members, this is something I want to talk about. But for the public, I just want to share this slide so you will definitely benefit too. As I said before, when you come and listen to us, I do hope you will carry some benefits and some notes that you can have, and at least your time will not be wasted. And of course, then look at your favorite list. What is your long-term and what are your short-term lists there, right? Try out some paper trading, which is in your favorite list. And then the third one, think for entry. It's always important you need to, because once you decided those, for example, you decide when do you want to enter, okay? Because very important is that you'll be doing a lot of this trade, many trades, right? And just like a child eventually who learn how to stand, I think many of our traders will do very similarly. Okay, remember, you're the chef. If you're using the multi-cooker function to cook, it's okay to cook. Maybe first time when you trade, not so bad, but you need to eventually be a chef on your own. And that's what we talk about, the VSA 360 working multifunction. And then of course, when you cook, you need to serve to your guests or serve to yourself, to your family member during this holiday season. That's the part where you think to exit. All right, think to exit. So when you are cooking a good meal this holiday season, think of VSA 360. Your ingredients, your preparations, right? Your friends that and family member that you're sharing, then you will know you have the right approach for 2022 for a very good year. I'm sure you will do that too. All right. So right now, let's review your stocks. Now, if any of the members in here or the public have any stocks that they want me to take a look, do pencil those in there. I'm happy to use the 360 to help you to review what we have today here. Okay. Because as for me, I've exited all the stocks, including the Pentagon guided trading portfolio and also intraday. I have 0 position in the market. But those of you who have any position that you have in the market, do let me know. I'm happy to review them through our 360 in here. Okay. But if you have the 360 on your own, I think it's also good. You can ask me a question in here. We got lots of function, as I said before. In here, we got the watch list. Let's take a look at the watch list for UMNO counter today. Oh, all pink color, not so nice. Let's take a look at the Cold Eye, which is a fundamental one. Also, Care Plus is back, Do Full, Comfort. These are all fall under the Fang Siling, which is the value investor. Let's take a look next at the RHB Jewel. Okay, RHB Jewel slightly better, got two big green, but KKB minus 5.9%. But also you can see a lot of them already turned red. Okay, and let's take a look at the red here means they are all not making money since the thing. And now market hasn't been performing great. Let's take a look at this one here. This one Nova slightly performed better, 12%, EXL4 7%, but we got Comfort down minus 12% too here. But there are some like RL already turned green pentagon in here. So this, okay. All right, if there is no stocks for me to review, we will wish you a very good Christmas. Now take note, the two breakfast show that I'll be doing, this will be the final show before I go for my leave. I'll be away for the December 13 to 19, right? December 13 to 19, and I'll be back on December 20th onwards. Okay, Joanne, any reason why you exited the market? No, I did not. I only exit the KLCI market. Okay. For Hawk, I exited all. There's nothing to trade in Malaysia. All out. Okay. All the short-term trading, I'm out. Remember, I have a short-term and I have a long-term. So make sure you keep them separately. A short-term and a long-term in here. Okay. We have the Kosan. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's take a look at this one here. We're going to be reviewing. So remember, next week I'll be away. And I'll be back on December 30th. So the usual live Facebook that is done by my fellow coaches and also Zach will be still on the evening session, but the morning breakfast show, I'll be away and I'll be back on December 30th. So let's take a look at it. Any reason why you exited? No, I did not exit the US. US you still can trade. Malaysia cannot trade only. I think Mr. Hawk, all right, if you've been following me, you probably know my strategy already, right? Okay, let's look at Joanne right now for her fellow. Okay, let's look at Kosan. Okay, Kosan is still going down. And remember, I talked about earlier on, right, 2 weeks ago, when there was an opportunity on the green pentagon, you better chabut. I do hope that some of you who would have hit on that day, right? Remember, when it break out, I told many of the members to exit. This is your chance. So if you don't exit, it's just going to stay like that for a long, long time. And no doubt, the ratings are still good. But remember, the PE is so low, you might be hanging on for a long time. And analyst is pointing 22nd of October. That's some time ago. Okay, 22nd of Public Bank is giving it a rating at 265. So the question is, where do you want to exit? I know you have bought it at $5 and $6. It's a loss. You just need to accept it. And Joanne, if you are one of our masterclass members, and I think if you are, I think we already explained that many ways. And there's many ways you can do that. If you're not, perhaps you can think about how you can get out from this position. Because at the end of the day, we always say before, if your meal already rosak because you overcook it, you have to throw it away. Correct not? Just like the food that you put in your top freezer. If it's already spoiled, you keep it frozen also cannot eat, right? Throw some of it away. Maybe the other one you can make it into other things, like make it into a decoration. So something for you to think about. Okay, any other stocks? All right, if there's no stocks, continue to follow for our daily update on Turtle Trading, completing the journey. We'll start. We have done our full interview in here. So after we come back on the 20th, we will begin the briefing and the training for our Turtle Trader. Thank you very much. And thank you for your time joining us. We wish you a festive holiday mood. And I'll see you back on the December 20th. But for our fellow members, I'll see you tomorrow for our member session in here. We continue to update you and educate you for the best educational programs that can be offered on the Malaysia, US, and the Singapore Hong Kong market. Trade smarter every time. Bye bye.